Is that 90s?
It is.
Wow.
It is. We are live, Janine Payne. We are
Okay. Well,
live.
I'm very excited. First of all, I'm glad to see you. And,
Mm,
just looking forward to getting into this content with you, the copywriter, copy editor extraordinaire. And, just seeing what we come up with and what
yes.
how you sort of massage language because you do it
Mas-
so very well.
I'm gonna massage the language. The point of today, studio audience at home, and Janine, this is a live recorded session of season 2, Business in the Raw, which is our long form meander over the course of 13 episodes a season, in which we have a basically pulling back the curtain on brand strategy and copywriting and how we do the work that we do. And we thought it would be fun season 2 here to experiment with a little bit of live streaming. I think you and I are both in agreement that a lot of the quality conversations that come about when you're not live streaming, when you're recording and then premiering later, there's just a higher level of comfort. But this is a great one to do live because we're just going to really be talking about how to plan a website, how we're going to plan your website. I'm going to show you the framework that I use. I'm going to show you some examples of other ones I've done and their corresponding copy documents. So you can see like, okay, I'm going to get a document like this. And then the web designer is going to translate into something like that. So it's really just to set your expectations and to get us on the same page and to get your validation and agreement that this is the way that you want to move forward with a project. And then next week, we're going to record one. We're not going to go live. We're going to record our session where I reveal the copy to you that I've written based on our agreement that this is the plan.
That sounds fabulous. So
That sounds fabulous to me as well.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, if anyone is at home watching or in the replay, welcome to Business in the Raw. But other than that, we're not going to obsess over the comments or do a big rally hoo-ha over what's going on in the live of it, and just frame this again as a fly on the wall. So,
Right.
that's the last I'll speak of it, unless we have some really awesome comments. Okay. So, Janine, we're here today because it is time. It is time for the Janine Sound Experience to get a website. You've engaged a producer and developer on the side, and they need copy. And that's my job. It's my job to give you the copy that that your developer will need to essentially build this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing the developer will need are some other assets, and those are photographs of you. Cha-ching.
Right.
We've done that already with Taylor.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link in the comment. We'll put a link in the show notes about those Taylor episodes if folks want to see those pictures. And then the other thing is a logo and some sort of branded look and feel, meaning you've chosen your fonts, you've chosen your color, and you've done that. And from what I understand, the developer is the same person who's going to get that kind of branded suite together for you. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. So that's like kind of 2 birds with 1 stone over there. All we really have to worry about then is the copy. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
I'm going to present. I'm in work mode today, which is why I'm not using my good camera. And there's going to be a little bit of me kind of clicking around here, but
that's all right. Yep. It's all good.
That's what we do.
That's what we do, and we do it, and we do it, and we do it well.
I know exactly. Before we get started, Janine, I have 2 things I want to promote, even though I've a little bit off the rails, a little bit off topic. I have 2 things I want to promote. One is that our main man, Ross Brand, who got us started in Business in the Raw, is publishing his 4th edition of the 100 Live Streaming and Digital Media Predictions. This is a book where he takes 100 of his closest friends and colleagues and asks them to write a prediction for the future. And so I just want to drop that in our show today because I think that's super cool. For the new year, I wrote a prediction. Hooray!
You did? I was going to ask, did you write a prediction?
I did. And Janine, it's exactly 100 words.
No, of course it is.
I'm just tickled with myself.
Only you could, take what's big and funnel it into 100 words. I'm sure Ross was all over that idea.
Oh, well, it sure is easy when you write a positioning statement. And that's what I did. So I wrote a position statement.
Oh,
And
that's
then the
really
other thing
cool.
that I want to promote while I have anybody's attention at all is that, ta-da, sorry, add to the stage.
Wow.
I'm on my own here today. Exactly. I am flash sailing LinkedIn profile makeovers. So folks can go to stonedfruit.com/flash all through the month of December and get a super low price. Get your tax deferment expense today and schedule for January. I've got LinkedIn profiles on flash sale. There's you and me, girl.
Oh my God, exactly. Working our tails off. That's what we're doing.
There's you and me, girl, on our LinkedIn journey. So anybody at home who has a brand new LinkedIn profile that pops with personality and pizzazz on their Santa's wish list can get one this year for super cheap. There's a bunch of examples you can go through on the page and see, but I'm
Very exciting.
promoting it everywhere because it's only available in December.
That's exciting. I have to make sure I drop into LinkedIn and respond to that and take a
Thank
look
you.
and share it with others.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
very
much.
cool.
Okay, so now we're just going to get into the meat of it. I've prepared for us, Janine, just like a handful of websites that I've already written for other clients. So we can kind of look at how they function and so you can understand my approach to them. And that way, if this works for you, fantastic. This framework is something that a developer will easily become very, very comfortable with. And if it doesn't work for you, then this is the time to kind of tweak our brand strategy a little bit and make a plan for content that's going to make sense. So I'll start here with this brand new one, which just launched last month, which is for Michelle and Unleashed Financial Advocates. And really, I just want to show you like the kind of the construction of a website. Now, I know you have a lot of experience, Janine. You've been a professional person for many, many moons. This isn't the first rodeo you've had with probably developing a website or being some sort of on a team that's kind of strategizing and putting one together. Is that true?
Yeah, but this is always good to
Okay.
take a look at how things are being done. Even when I say today, I mean presently, today, the 12th of December. Things look and feel different all the time,
Agreed.
That
Agreed.
in certain areas. Yeah.
And
So
and also a small disclaimer is that I don't specialize in website copy. It's one of the things that I do very, very well because the tone of website copy aligns with how I like to write. So I like to push it, but I don't bill myself as a website copy expert. So in the spirit of true disclosure, don't at us in the comments. Well, actually do at us in the comments. If you've got a better way that you like to write website copy, I'm so happy to hear it. Like, come on the Stone Fruit roll up and tell us all about it. This is just the way that I do it. I recognize that I'm very set in a style of doing things that may at one point get tired, but here's how I do it. So I really like to start and kind of build a website out in the functionality of sections. And so if you kind of consider what's above the fold or what's the first thing you see, we're going to have a very powerful kind of headline and a powerful tagline because you have literally like, I don't know, maybe like less than 2 seconds to kind of catch somebody's attention before they decide whether or not they're just going to roll out. So I really like to kind of get them where they live with a powerful headline and subheadline. Here we see it in Michelle's. I'm going to show you a couple others. Now, I didn't design any of these. So you're going to see design that's all over the place, but you'll start to see a pattern emerge of how I pattern the copy. So also as well, share this tab instead. Hello. Amplifying and integrating a pipeline to keep top talent at warp speed. So she's got a headline and then just like a little bit of copy to catch your attention on what really is above the fold. And then there's a call to action.
Got it.
Same thing here for Art in the Atrium. And this one, it's just beautiful. The headline. This one is gorgeous. Listen, y'all, this one is this is the most, I would say that this is the this is the Hellcat on the street, because this one is really designed in WordPress, and where the other ones, are kind of put together either through, although I think 304 coaching is in WordPress as well. You're going to see a bunch of different options from like basically do it yourself to a professional. Jody actually did this website. If she knew I was saying that, she'd kill me because she doesn't do websites, but
Yes,
Jody did this one.
that is gorgeous.
It truly is. Shout out here to our boy Paul King, who launched his new website just this week.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm glad to see it. Yes.
I know. I really want to give him a really good sense of visibility here, if at all possible. So again, kind of above the fold, we've got a headline, and then we've got a subheadline, and then there's a call to action that's in the middle. This is an older one that I did quite a few years ago already, but one of my favorites because this video production company is just really hot and dynamic.
Very
but
nice.
It's a headline and then a subheadline.
Very nice.
And thank you, darling.
Yeah.
Indeed. So now I'm going to kind of sneak back over here into StreamYard and show you a little bit of behind the scenes stuff to kind of give us some context here, and then I'll show you the rest of the block. So sharing this tab instead, here we are with Unleashed. It's when you look at it, here's your headline, here's your subheadline, and here's a little body copy. And now I'm going to show it to you in Unleashed. Her headline, her subheadline, and her body copy.
And her body copy.
Kind of living up, breaking up the visual with a graphic. Now, these are super nice. I'm glad we're kind of taking a, oops, I'm so rude. Share this tab instead. Share this tab instead. Here we can see it in layout. So we've got a headline, a subheadline, some body copy.
Yes,
and so this is really the first section of what we're looking at. And when I go back to the copy document, it's our first section. And then we have another section. And in this one, we kind of had suggested a video. We didn't have a video done at the time, but you can see that I'm starting to work section 1, section 2, section 3.
Got it.
Section 4 is a form. Section 5 is the footer, and now I'll show it to you in real life.
Okay.
Thanks for being patient.
Well, this is good. This is great because it offers some context to the pulling together that we're talking about, the building rather. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. That way, when I show you the actual copy, you won't be like, I can't see it.
Yeah.
And that can really shut us down if there's no ability to see any kind of vision. So here we go again. Section 1, section 2. This is the place where I'd been like, let's put a video. And we just kind of did that video like a week or so ago, so we don't have that ready on our website. But in this place, we put a branded graphic, protecting your peace and your profits. How cute is this dog? Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
This is a great example of a branded graphic. So you can see that it's very much like in branded copy, protecting your peace and your profits comes from messaging. We did that work back in season 1 when we did your positioning.
Absolutely.
And then it's got this like branded look of the polka dots, and it's on brand colors, and it's a dog, which is what she's all about. Here's her little mascot, Zelda.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. This is done by Calvin Crane Nelson, who did all of the stone fruit work and all of the business and the raw work. This graphic.
Wow.
The logo, the branded look, and all of that. Shout out to Calvin. He did a phenomenal job. I like to bring him in on projects when people need something that will kind of Calvin's like, let me stop. Calvin didn't do the design of the website, but he did do the whole brand look and feel, the logo, and these branded graphics.
I got it.
And I love to work with him on things where we need more than just like a logo. We need someone to be thinking long term about how the brand can express itself and build out. And you'll see a lot of his little work here.
Very nice.
So then section 2, or section 3, you'll remember Meet Michelle.
I do. That's yeah.
So now this is a very clearly defined as a new section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll work with this section, very clearly defined as a new section, and then her little logo again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at it with art in the atrium. And it's so gorgeous. Yeah. Section 1 is bringing you to exhibits and kind of the slider of things that they want to do.
Right.
This is just a matter of copy, but the same thing, headline and subheadline. Now their big kind of call to action is really around their collection. So this is a new section.
Mm-hmm.
3 pillars: experience, celebrate, and explore, which I really like for her. And they all link to, they don't link yet. There's in the future, phase 2.
That's all right. Yeah.
Our story. Why does Black art matter? Never miss an opportunity, experience, or exploration or understanding, and breathe life into your human-centered worldview. This all comes from positioning.
Yeah, right.
Access to the works by humanity's most talented and visual artists from emergent to renown. Now these link: programming, membership, connect. So your calls to action,
got it.
Staying in the loop, your form, etc. And we'll look one more time at JT. Now, this was a case, Janine, in which the challenge for me with writing this copy was that there was already a site in place. So we did what I like to affectionately call a rip and replace, where I'm looking at the structure of the site as it exists, and I'm not adding any new sections. Mm-hmm. I'm not expanding copy. In fact, I'll copy the number of words that are consistent, that are in the section as it stands, and then I'll match that so that I'm not breaking the framework or the structure of it at all.
Yeah.
So this was a rip and replace, but we still have section 1. Kind of section 2, there's a big call to action about the podcast, a section that's about kind of what people are coming here to buy, essentially, really kind of broken into these chunks of information that really makes sense to somebody who's on the scroll. We'll look at it.
Yeah, we just want to take it.
Exactly. Yeah. So here you see Paul's same formula. Section 1, section 2. This video is absolutely adorable, and I wrote the script for it. It's so cute.
How long is it? Can you play it? Or
I want to play it. Let's play it and see play if it works. I'm going to start it and then stop it. You tell me if you can hear it.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Is it time to get real about video?
I can hear it.
Okay, then let's start again. I wrote this voiceover script. That's right up your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it is.
One of the scripts that I sent along for practice. Let's take a look. You ready?
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Is it time to get real about video? This is the best way to spread the word about your people, projects, and places. Get great video that can't help but raise money and awareness. If you need the support of a video production company but don't know what to expect or how it all happens, watch this. Yeah. You might have heard of us from your colleagues at other nonprofits, higher ed, and community-centered organizations, or you might have seen us online. You get in touch, we schedule a call, you share your deeds, we discuss it, see if we're a good fit, talk you through the process, and agree to a fair price. And booyah! If we'll be filming on site, we'll do a location scout to find the best spot for filming and lighting. Meanwhile, you start sharing assets, branding files, slides, interviewee names, agenda, chocolate chip cookies. Maybe not cookies.
But I want cookies.
Sorry, not sorry. We start planning. We build some templates and write some interview questions. Going virtual? We build the show, test the stream, and do a tech check with guests. Live streaming, we schedule the stream, come on site, set up the cameras, prep for going live, cue the talent, stream it, save it. Back to filming. We'll use the right tools for the job.
Paul? Seriously. Sometimes that'll be an iPhone actually.
Pack our gear kit, cameras, stabilizers, lights, audio, cables, batteries, hard drives, bada bing, bada boom. Filming done, back to the production lab. Edit, color, populate templates if we made them, find the best of the B-roll, choose some sounds, record some sounds, record a voiceover, choose some music, put it all together, export and send it to you. You review it, leave your comments, we comment, make changes. Normally, a couple of reviews gets us to final. To clarify, normally. Sometimes timelines are longer due to scheduling constraints, longer client reviews, and higher productions. We upload it, you download it, job done. You love it, share it, and immediately book us again. And all of this can be used for testimonials, brand videos, live streams, promos, highlights, conferences, interviews, podcasts, trade shows, galas, bite-sized socials, sports, webinars, and documentaries. You get the idea. Need any sort of video production or live stream? King Productions can do that. Relevant and relatable video engagement campaigns and easy to execute brand strategies that raise money and awareness. Because content is king.
Very good.
Oh my
That-
God.
yeah,
How cute is that?
Yeah, can I say something? And I know
Yes.
we're here for copy, but I think this is important because it also highlights your copy expertise because you wrote that script, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Based
and I
on
think-
positioning. You
Yeah,
hear
I
it
know.
all over the place. Yeah.
Say that again, based on
Based-
positioning. But I really love that, particularly for Paul's business, because often, you step into as an entrepreneur or whomever, you're looking for someone, in his case, to do a production for you, video production, but you don't really know the process. And in a nutshell, within 3 minutes, I think it was, he's able to go from beginning to end, give you some idea as to what will happen, but also you get to know him. And I know that that's the idea. And most people out there are going, yeah, of course, that's what a video is for. Sure, as I can explain it. But this is the language and then the graphics and all of that is very well done. And then his personality on top of that. Not that everyone has to be charismatic at all, but the ability to deliver the message. I think I just think is so well done. Congratulations, Paul.
I know, right? Congratulations, Paul. I agree totally.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love when he comes at that with that cookie. Sorry, not sorry.
I know
It's just-
exactly.
It just really kind of breathes a little life. I do feel like it's almost a little long because you're in this moment of like explainer videos, but to be able to do your nose to tail process in 3 minutes,
That's
I can
right.
see something like this for you very easy. Like, okay,
Right.
what is a voiceover? What's it for? Who who are our people? What do they need? Who's it for? What do we deliver? Very special,
Exactly.
different other one. I think it's fun to look at all these just because like what's possible for you and for your website
Yeah.
and just
yeah.
how are we going to kind of frame and work around it. But hopefully just kind of with some of these examples, I think I have one more I didn't show you. I'll
Mm.
show you Armosas again because I just love this one. This was so long ago, but they're just so such a neat group of people, and their copy just really kind of comes to life. Their clients are like Winnebago, Marie Forleo. They're just really an interesting
Huh.
group of people. So video that earns loyalty, I think that really is very, very strong. Content that's good and good for you. Really great featured work that they had done.
Yeah.
Stay grounded while gaining traction is awesome. Play, stay, and share. Believability is boss. It just really nicely showcases kind of all
Nice.
the copy and how it kind of comes across.
Yeah.
throughout their stuff. I think their services are worth looking at too. Of course, an about section, about page, a little education here for anyone who's planning a website at home. Your about page is the most visited page on your website. I think we all kind of think about the homepage as being like this showstopper that you have to get. And while that's true, like nobody's going to go to your about page if your homepage sucks. That's true too. But the about page is really the most important piece. It's so important to like build a bridge between, it's about the company, who are we, but really what folks want to see, or audiences want to see when they come here, is they want to see themselves reflected in your brand. So you really have to kind of bridge this. Like, you don't have to do it alone. We've spent a lifetime doing it. We're here to help you do the thing. Isn't that interesting? Those are not my core values I wrote for you guys. Those are not my core values I wrote for you guys, but core values change. They evolve over time. This was a long time ago. One of my favorite stories about these guys when we did core values was one of theirs was tip the lamp. And the story comes from such an interesting story, Janine, the brand stories.
Yeah.
The story comes from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, there's this moment where one of the characters, I don't even remember who it was, tips this like swinging, remember those old school like poker lamps that would descend and drop over a table?
Exactly.
And someone takes it and tips it. And what it requires then is for the animators to show how light sweeps across a room. And it took, according to the story, when we did this brand work, according to the story, it took just oodles and oodles amount of extra labor and time to be able to make this light effects for literally 5 seconds worth of video.
Wow.
But it made
the impact.
It made like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because that's such a moment where they didn't have to do it, but they did, and it made such an impact. So tip the lamp for Armosa meant like even more than that, like be creative, even if it means doing extra work, because that's what gives it flavor. So these guys were super neat. All right. Anything else to kind of show you with this? Their services, I think, are worth looking at. Heartstrings and girl, this was one of my best.
Heartstrings.
Video production, scripting. So just very kind of straightforward. My pro tip, here's a call to action, which is good. Pro tip for anybody out there building a website, please don't put exclamation points.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and why do you say that? No exclamation.
Well, one, it's like, stop yelling at me. Two, it's my opinion that you get one.
Yeah, I get it.
You get one a page. And so kind of adding these calls to action.
So you feel that the content should be what jumps out at you versus, let's say, an exclamation point. I mean, the message that's being delivered should be enough to make that point.
Correct. I don't want to throw shade at these guys.
No, not at all.
In any kind of way. I'm just saying.
No, it was a great point to make, and not necessarily about them, I
don't want to throw shade, but whenever I see more than one exclamation point, I recognize an amateur.
Okay.
Like marketing that just yells at you all the time isn't. Marketing should be a romance, a seduction, not yelling at you. Yeah. So one a page is what I tell people. That's it. That's all you get. Okay. Dive Buddy Accounting. This is Zach's family business. This is his mom, Donna, who you know. This, I think, shows up as being very kind of busy on the page, honestly, with this amount of copy behind this video. I think my advice to Zach and Donna will be to kind of like move this down a little bit, because it just is a little too much to like parse out. And I would be afraid that Thrive While You Dive would be hard to read for someone with visual impairment. Like, I don't know that that's very accessible. Some type fonts and colors and something like this could really be confusing for someone, because it's all caps case. It's writing this line, the colors and things. So I have a meeting with them today at 4:00. I think I'll make that little note. But I really like that they've got their kind of 3 pillars here. This is a bookkeeping, watertight books, tax savings. And it's just written in sections. The 3 pillars you saw earlier with Art in the Atrium were
Yeah.
across a line. These are expanded out because they don't have a very deep site. It's more long than anything.
Got it.
So here we are with our little sections and our forms. Zach, that's your 1 exclamation point. That's all you get.
I'm sure he remembered that.
That is all you get. That's your budget for it.
That's
So
nice.
anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you around these. They're all, when it comes to how the copy is delivered,
Mhm.
they're all presented exactly the same way. It's really about what does the developer and the information architecture call for in order to take these sections that we're going to write. We know we have some jobs to do. We've got to introduce the Janine Sound Experience above the fold. We've got to make sure that there is like your 3 pillars of things you stand on, that there's room for media, there's room for content, there's room for branded graphics if we get some, that there's a call to action, that there's a form, or either go to your YouTube channel or sign up for the newsletter or do something.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it to you in these kind of big blocks. What's going to inform the big blocks on the homepage is your positioning statement. All of these homepages are positioning, just kind of broken up all across that. And since we've agreed what that is, nothing I write should be a big surprise.
Right. And this is great to walk through, because one thing, and I wanted to discuss with you, is when you look at other voiceovers, even podcasts, often like that above the fold is the reason why people came to your site, which is a few snips of your audios and of the voiceovers. And for me, I would like that, because no one's coming to see me for any other type of service other than voiceovers, and in some cases vocals, right? So I would like to talk through how you envision still staying above the fold with something bold, if you will, that a headline, but also ensuring that the reason why they came is very evident and right in your face. Because I would like you go to any site. If you look at, I think Jody's site, for instance, if you go to her site, the voiceovers are like right there, but then there's also another page where you can go and dig deep and get her million voiceover demos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, if you look up anyone, that's basically what you see. So
Well, let's take a look at Tony's here, because they kind of have a similar thing going on.
Mhm.
Just to speak to what you're asking about. And I wrote this for Tony like 4 years ago, and he has such a wider body of work, and his services are different than now.
That's
But
all
I
right.
really, this is one of my favorite ones. One, because the copy drives it, and then the photographs I took with my phone. And I built it myself in Squarespace, and I am not a designer, so you're gonna look at this and be like, "What?" But it does kind of, to me, illustrate that like the copy can drive and make up for a lot of kind of design newbieism, for lack of a better way of kind of talking about it. Climb aboard, podcasters. Ahoy, ride the podcast wave without getting lost in a sea of sound the sames. Like, that's just kind of your TLDR. We need a big call to action here. At this point, I would say explore our portfolio or listen to our whatever. This doesn't have a call to action right here. Like I said, this is pretty old. And it doesn't have one, but it should. And then that would be really kind of linking right into your immediate media, and probably that would live where this section is, and then this section would move down one.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yep, that's exactly how I sort of envision.
Yeah,
I love his font.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, again, we're just kind of building this like
Mhm.
anybody at home trying to build something just like from scratch.
And a lot of cases, that's what people are needing to do until they can, either afford or they find it necessary, to build up and out, you know, um, and make that commitment, I guess that financial commitment.
Exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, thank you for hearing me and knowing this looks great. And you
Yeah.
said you don't do, and I see he chose to put his assets, his demos.
Yeah. I
Here
think that up here there should be a jump link.
ah,
Right up here, there should be a jump link, and that should jump you down
got
to
you.
his portfolio.
Mhm.
Again, very like old. And then
Well,
he's
that's
got a bunch of
great.
this is where we first met, baby. This
Ah,
is
I
where we
like
first met. This is from like 2015.
that.
Um, yeah, and then this his testimonials go here. He only had one, but he could have put a carousel here
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it is he wanted to do. But
Excuse
I
me.
think it's really I think it kind of serves because it's got these
It does.
sections here. It's got called out. Why would you be here? Helping people fall in love with podcasting. I think that it's still very, very true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Your podcast life coach. I think it's very, very true. So
Yeah,
something kind of similar for you, I'm thinking,
yeah,
along terms of structure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Something that has that a similar, not necessarily just look and feel, but structure to your point. So thanks for going through that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's honestly it, Mama. I just wanted to show you what to expect. Here's how how I frame it out. I build in these functional blocks.
Got it.
You can move those blocks wherever it was. When we did art in the atrium, Jody and I did that. I had 3 pages because that's really we were trying to keep it like within this budget for the nonprofit. We had home, we had kind of like contact, and we had to get involved. And
Mm,
Jody took those blocks and rearranged them across 5 pages because they made sense for the architecture. She
yeah.
was able to do that with a drag and drop instead
Mm.
of kind of website copy that had been written like in this just one unbreakable format that
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I
So
get it.
that's what we can expect. So when we get our draft back from your developer
Mm.
and we're like, oh man, now this homepage feels, let's just kind of bump this block over to the about page
Ah,
because the homepage is really long at this point. Feels like we've got just do a little bit of editing with our little brand scythe, if you
uh,
will. We'll just
uh,
kind of move it over. And so understanding that we're going to build these like Minecraft-y,
uh,
like Lego-y
yeah.
and building blocks for functionality to make sure you have every kind of piece that you need to send someone through a content journey. And when they go to your website, it's instantly recognizable. It's easy to understand, like to grok it. What's the value here? And what are Janine's values?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this person? What are their work? And how do I kind of move to the next step?
Got it. Yeah. That all sounds great and understandable. And I'm looking forward just to seeing how all of it comes together, and we could talk about what's already, that I had drafted off, just some ideas that you could take and then, like I said, do your massaging.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a total revamping, but I
But
hopefully in essence.
I really like whenever it's possible
Yeah.
to work with a client who's done a little bit of writing on their own.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to. I'll do all of it. It's fine.
No,
But
I
if
did. Yeah,
I know,
I have that document.
I
Oh, you're
know.
talking to your audience.
I'm saying, yeah, I'm talking to like the audience. Like, don't
Hello.
write any of it. It's fine.
Sorry.
I got you.
It's not just
But
about me, guys.
if I can get a client that does a little bit of work in advance or that likes to do a little bit of writing, then what I'm able to do is like I start with the positioning framework and I make sure like all the elements are there, are all the questions answered,
Mm-hmm.
who, what, why, when, where, and how, like who are people, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I take your stuff and I integrate it. It generally shows up like that very much strongly on the about page.
Uh-huh.
And I integrate the two of them together as seamlessly as I can.
Yeah.
The advantage there is one, you feel like your voice is here. I didn't just override it with like
Mhm.
marketing speak. So you've got your own kind of like real collaborative piece there. Two, anything you write in the future won't feel off brand because
Mm,
I've created something where the two of them can live and coexist
very
seamlessly
nice. Very nice.
together, so that you don't need like, well, if Rebecca doesn't write it, it's not going to feel right. Well,
Mm,
that's not sustainable.
yeah,
So I try and as often as I can take original language too and seamlessly integrate it so that it can feel like you as well. And then when you write future stuff, it doesn't seem like record scratch new brand voice.
got it. What a vision and forethought, that you have for that person's future. Because
Oh,
it's not static. Seriously, it's not static. It is where, in my case, where I am now, and you're taking the now, who I am now, the direction I'm going now, and but then moving forward, it still has the essence of me. Even if it's toyed about, tinkered.
exactly. And
I
my hope is that you'll also integrate, and we've done positioning and messaging. So those are your words and phrases. If you just start living the brand and using them because we co-created them together, we agreed this is the thing, then
Yep,
you'll be living the embodiment of your brand voice in no time. And you don't
yep.
need me to Cyrano de Bergerac it for you.
Yeah. Well, that used to be one of my favorite plays. I mean, when it was read, I think I could have been in seventh grade, sixth grade, or something like that. Do you remember
Uh,
when you read that?
yeah, I sure do.
Yeah,
Obviously, it stuck with me.
yeah, me too. It's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's a little bit of that in many of us. But we digress.
That's my whole shtick, though. Cyrano de Bergerac in it for you.
I love
A
that.
brand voice.
It automatically sticks, and if anyone has not read it, then
What would Liz Lemon say? Look it up, nerds.
yeah, look it up. So this is great, and I think I mentioned this to you. I have found other graphics that help tell the story. I think that would be great to integrate, and that's more the design when it happens
Mhm.
because you don't know what to add yet, but also video that speaks to the audiences um, that I hope to work with. That's my goal in working with certain audiences, and the video sort of tells that story as well. So it's real, clips that I found that I think will work well. So
That is awesome sauce. I
yeah,
can't wait to co-create those. How that all works together with you. And I'm
okay,
sure you're going to be doing
yeah.
some stuff with Taylor in the new year to get
What?
video.
Oh,
I'm sure you and Taylor have more like of work, not where she's bringing you into her projects because you guys have shared client alignment and value
that would be
alignment.
that would be awesome. It
I'm,
would be totally awesome, and she on
let's
both
just speak
sides
it
of her
into existence then.
exactly on her. From what is the name of her organization?
Make a scene media.
Make a Scene Media, and the work and the audiences that she touches and desires to support really parallel, my heart and my desires as well. So I follow you. I didn't pick that up when you first
Yeah.
said it, but that's it's very cool.
Exactly.
And her
Exactly.
other,
Hopefully, she got
yeah, I mean,
projects with your name on it. But I know
who knows?
she's been extremely interested in your development as you move forward through more than
Yes,
just the photographs.
mine and I in her work as well, and also supporting her work, promoting her work. So it's pretty cool. So I look for that opportunity to be able to promote the work through the website as well. I think that showing the images that are
Oh
showcased.
yeah.
What was that episode?
We
Well,
haven't we haven't named any of the episodes yet, but
I
that's
know.
going to be episode 1, I think.
Oh, okay, but the link will probably be in the
It will
notes.
be. Yep. I'll put the links and I'll edit these show notes. Kathleen Bagel.
Oh,
Edit
so
the show notes to make sure all this stuff gets up in there, and then
it is. This
move
is
it all back.
helpful.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
this is
Good.
really
And then when we meet next week through the magic of television, which will not be live, but when we get together next, then I'll have your copy, the first draft of it done based on this framework and this approach. And we'll go through it section by section. And you'll have a really good understanding about now I can visualize how that will come into play. It's really hard to look at. Let me share this one more time.
All right.
It's really hard sometimes to look at this
Mm, mm.
and know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
It's just a copy. What it's just hard to kind of get that visual. So that's why I wanted to take this time and show you. This is how this is how I do it every time. We build in these blocks and then see 5 or 6 samples where people have done them. Different designers, different levels of design, different
Right.
investment, different from DIY to like Jody, from
I like that.
Squarespace to WordPress, from lots of copy to not a lot of copy, to one page to fully express, and they all can kind of like come out and
I love
expand.
that. Yeah, 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 yeah. And the versatility of each of those platforms, but what stands as the foundation is the copy, and then the graphics, and then all the other stuff. So
They really work together. Like even the designer made a comment in our copy document to say, "I'm so glad because design and content happen at the same time," and
uh-huh.
they really do work kind of together.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is building a website for yourself, the copy is not the thing you think about afterwards, and the
No.
design is not the thing you think about afterwards. Ideally, you want to bring your team together so that they can buttress each other for extreme functionality
Mhm,
versus kind of like a linear thinking of like first design, then copy, then build out, then this.
mhm.
Ideally, if they all happen kind of concurrently, then you're going to get the best results out of it.
Right.
The rip and replace thing I showed you with 304, it's not ideal. But brands evolve.
They
This
do.
the positioning we did for 304 3 years ago is not the positioning we did last year, and we've got to bring that copy along for the ride.
Um,
Otherwise, what's the point of it?
yeah. No, I totally get that, and so I am looking forward to the now, to the present, and seeing the wonderful uh, not just copy, but what you're thinking, everything that we've done, the positioning and everything, how it now will be integrated into the website
Oh my
copy.
God!
That's
Finally, you get to see it. Finally, you get to see more than get ready to get ready.
that's all right. Get ready to get
Finally,
ready. But there's some value in the get ready to get ready. Seriously. I mean,
it's
because you know, you take on the persona, who you say you are, in that meantime, while you're waiting, because you're like, yes, that is who I am. You confirm, affirm, within yourself. This is who I am. This is who I want to serve. These are the types of people that I want to work with. You go, yeah, that's right. Okay, now we can move on. Now I can show it to the world through a website. Seriously. Yeah.
that was the soundbite of the episode, baby.
Well, it's true.
Put a
What do you
pin
want
in
me
it. Get ready to see it on Reels.
Okay, all right.
That was beautiful. Thank you
Oh, it's true.
for your hot take, because it is you got it exactly. You're
Wow.
so fun to work with, and I
Oh,
appreciate your time today. And I
thank
appreciate that you were willing to go live. We're not going to go live all the time, but these teachable ones where it's a lot of show and tell, I
you.
think are fun for live and will give our future policies and some texture.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I hope people find it. I know they will find it of value, but what part of it they find of value is always interesting and just to learn. So I'll leave it to you to ask what you would like to see from people, to drop in after just watching this episode, because it's chock full with so many nuggets. Yes, but what else?
God, you're so good with the bring it all around. I'm
Hey,
ready to just be like end stream like that. That's it. You're so good with bringing it all around.
that's a
I guess if I had a magic wand and people were in the comments, where I do think the community in the conversation is in the comments, I'd
Mhm.
love to hear. I'd love to see questions. That's what I'd love to see.
Okay.
Questions about, all right, I have an entrepreneurial endeavor, whether it's your full-time pursuit or a side hustle or just something you're dreaming about, and a website is in the cards for you. It may be a pillar of your marketing mix and an asset that's really important to you, but you're not really sure how to plan out the content or how to work with a developer in tandem with a copywriter, or if
Mhm.
you're doing it yourself, what makes the most sense and how do you get it done? What do you even know? Oh, how do I even know what to write? I'd love to see questions in the comments I could answer.
Oh wow, thank you. That is loaded. I hope we get plenty because I'm coming from, and maybe we can talk at another time. Maybe when at launch, where I started, what, and not necessarily who I'm working with, but the platform that I chose that worked for my budget and needing some hands-on as well. I think for everyone, it's going to be different. You know,
Absolutely.
so.
Some like, and we all have to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And what I don't want folks to do, including you, is to just kind of freeze. Like, okay, I can't invest $10,000 in a website, so I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah,
That's
that's right.
there's an in between, baby.
There is. There
You,
is.
it could even be free because you did it yourself. You like figured out how to write some copy and you just got it out there. And then you listened to your clients and then you revised it. And then you did some positioning and then you revised it. And then
Mhm,
you got some new media and then you revised it. And
mhm.
then you grew and then you revised it. Like,
Yep. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think you're right. It's, moving forward as you and I talked about, and a little while back, it was like, okay, I can start moving some of this forward, and as you said, but in tandem with other things that are happening around, yes, the Janine Sound Experience, but also this collaboration. And it's working very well. It really is. And I feel good about where we are, where I am, where you are. And
I know you'll be happy when you see some copy, though, girl.
I
I
will.
know you'll be
I
happy
will. Hey,
for sure. That it is absolutely time. You've been waiting with these Christmas presents wrapped in under the tree for quite a while. I can't wait till next week. We can at least unwrap the big one and move that one forward
yep.
for sure. Yeah, your journey is so fun. I honestly, I feel like, and maybe that's part of Business in the Raw, why I have such a hard on for it, is that I just think that people want to see someone grow and develop. So if, like, let's just say we didn't do this and you came out in the springtime with a $10,000 website, I'm just pretending,
Yeah.
and no one
Yeah.
saw your progress and you just were like the splash on the scene, that's great. But there's something wonderful about watching someone take the first step and
Mm,
then take the next step and then take the next step and take the next step. And so a website that kind of starts like Tony's is, where it's just a little square space and a tiny form and everything on one page and kind of a small little data portfolio, that's okay. And
yeah.
if you're, art in the atrium with this beautiful like moving montage and original art, and like,
Yeah.
come explore being docent with us,
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
seeing that journey happen. So anyway, thank you, Miss
Very
Janine.
well said. Thank you. Thank you. This has been great. So we'll be talking, of course.
Yep, you and I meet privately next week, and then we'll probably release some part of that episode for funsies.
Mhm.
I anticipate season in the raw. That's hilarious. Business in the Raw season 2, like the final episodes, somewhere between spring and summer, where we're launching like that kind of polished season. So this
Mhm.
is like bonus content. You and I will keep working, and then we're both taking breaks
Yeah.
for the holidays to spend time with our families and other
Yes.
pursuits, and we'll come back around in January for more of this bonus content. Does that sound good?
Yay. That sounds fabulous. Happy
So
holidays,
smash
everyone.
that like and subscribe button.
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Janine Payne. Business of the Raw season 2, Business of the Raw TV for more information here on YouTube. I really appreciate your time, and it was so fun to show you how I do websites, and I can't wait to do one for you.
That's great. And if anyone ever wants to hear demos before we get the website done, go to legacystorygifts.com and you can check out just a few demos, get some idea as to what I'm dabbling with. So,
Girl, go ahead.
yeah. So it's a good deal.
Let's absolutely make sure those make the show notes at the very top of the show notes, and any show notes moving forward.
Oh, good. Yay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, Miss Janine,
All
and
right,
the
Miss
internet, YouTubes and the LinkedIns.
Exactly.
We will see you next time, where on
Indeed.
Business of the Raw, where the
Indeed.
world is your oyster.
Ooh, I love that. That was an oyster. I don't know.
Ooh, that makes quite a sound.
I
Do it
know, I
again. Oh my God.